Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to start off with a skincare item. This is actually a repurchase, but I haven't had it for a while. I'd originally gone through a full-size bottle probably around the time that it released, but I hadn't repurchased it until now, and it's just a really good cleanser. It's from Youth to the People. It's the Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamins Superfood Cleanser. This is the box packaging for it, and I purchased it at Sephora. It comes in an 8 fluid ounce glass bottle with a pump. So you do get a lot of product, but I do find that you need a little bit more product than like a normal cleanser. I don't use this to take off my makeup because it's not strong enough to really break down the sunscreen and stuff like that. So I do an oil cleanse, and then I go in with this at night with my Foreo. In the morning, I just use it by itself with the Foreo. I've really been getting back into using the Foreo for cleansing my face, but I have to use a little bit more product than normal with this. I've had this bottle for about 2 to 3 weeks, and I've already used up that much product. I'm okay with this type of packaging for at home, but this is definitely not travel friendly. And even the smaller bottle that you get comes in a glass with a little twist top. I'd much prefer maybe like a squeeze tube or something like that. When I go somewhere, I'm like, how am I supposed to like take this with me? So anyway, this is just a really gentle, super nice cleanser. So in the morning, just a nice cleanse, and then a double cleanse at night. This is the second step. And again, I use it with the Foreo, but this is just so non-irritating. It has the slightest bit of foaming action, and I have dry skin, so I don't like to use a foaming cleanser, but I don't feel like this really strips my skin bare. So that's the Youth to the People Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamins Superfood Cleanser right there. I still haven't ditched my eyebrow gel kick, so I saw on Emily Noel's video that she liked the Almay brow styler, and this is the Really Real Brows, and it says new on this packaging, but I got the shade medium brown. This is the packaging on that, and this is actually what I have in my brows today. This is the only product that I have, and this little brush, let me show it to you. So this again is the medium brown shade. A long, pretty long, tiny, skinny spoolie here. It's hard to get like the product on my hand here, but the hairs fit through the brush really well. This is like not doing it any justice. But this little brush grabs onto individual brow hairs so well without distributing product on the skin. I've used it for the past couple days, and it has a really strong hold. Compared to something like the Covergirl one, it doesn't add a ton of volume because the brush literally just grabs the hairs. And again, this is all I have in my brows today. I did have to use like 3 coats, and then I did find that I kind of have to pick through it with a cleaner spoolie because I'll get a little excess product on the very tip of the brow hairs, which I'm not crazy about. But otherwise, the way that this like just grabs onto individual hairs is just great. Like, I don't know how well you can tell on camera. It actually looks a little bit lighter from what I'm seeing in my lens than what it looks like in person. But the hold on it is really strong as well, so it might be a really good one if you do fill your brows in with a little bit other product and want to kind of spike them up. But I've just been using it by itself, and I do like it for how it defines those hairs, but I do again have to kind of go back over it with a spoolie to get a little bit of excess that it leaves on the tip of the brow hair. But that's the Almay brow styler in medium brown. And again, this brush, it's like a spoolie brush, and then the spoolie, as it goes around, has got different bristles in it. So that's kind of probably how it grabs those hairs so well. And it's a really thin kind of gel formula with nice pigmentation to it. But anyway, Almay brow styler in medium brown. Next up, I found in Walmart the new Maybelline Nudes of New York palette, which I saw first on Ulta.com. And so when I was in Walmart, I was super excited to grab it. This one here, what I really like about kind of the layout of it is the shadows are in pans. Like a lot of the, I think there was an all matte kind of bar palette that was released, and those don't have like individual pans. I don't know what it is, but I just like to know that the shadow is in a pan. I don't know if that's weird or not, but this is the palette right here, and I have used this, and I will say that I'm pleasantly surprised at how much better the quality is in this palette than some of their past palettes. The shimmers are nice and pigmented. I will say that the matte shades I did have to work with a little bit with blending because they're a little bit drier of a formula, but the pigmentation on them is really nice. Pleasantly surprised with this. I was always like, I know Maybelline can make great shadows. Like, I know you can do it. So this is a nice little palette. It was 11 something at Walmart. So I'm going to give you guys some swatches of it. And it's got both warm and cool shades in it. which is also really nice, I think. My skin is, look at that pigmentation though, right? I'm kind of excited about it. I'm like, Maybelline, stick on this track and come out with some more and I'll buy them. So there's a couple swatches there. Let me get a couple more for you. Let's kind of do this one and this one. This color up here is super pretty. Let's get this, what should I do this one? This matte one. Look at that. Isn't that nice though? So there's a couple swatches from that guy, and then also there is a good array of matte shades. The one thing, I mean, just for personal preference, is this matte brow bone I kind of wish was in one of these larger pans, just because I know I'm going to use that shade more than probably any of the others. But there's good deep matte shades, good transition shades, and also good brow bone tones, as well as light shimmers and kind of deeper shimmers in there. So the variety of shadows that you're getting is also really nice. But this is a nice palette from Maybelline. So it's the Nudes of New York eyeshadow palette. It says 01 on there, and again, I found this at Walmart. It was like $11 and some change, $11 and some change right there. But on one of the end caps at Walmart, I saw a display for some new Wet n Wild lipsticks, so I purchased two shades. They had one side that was this cream formula, and then they had another side which was a matte formula. I grabbed two of the cream shades, and I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit for not grabbing one or two of the mattes so I could kind of try them out. But these here, let me see what the official name is. The Mega Last High Shine Brilliance lipstick, and these triggering some Pat McGrath vibes right there. So this first shade is the shade Peach Please, and this is the one that I've worn more so than the other. The color is really pretty and the formulation feels really nice, but it's more of a slick type of a formula. Like, it actually broke down my lip liner. That's kind of how it almost feels, super balmy like, if that makes any sense. But this color in particular is very pretty. This is the Peach Please shade. I wish there was a little less slip in these lipsticks, because again, I found them to not have a really long wear time, which, you know, 'tis the case with a little bit of a higher shine lipstick, but they're very thin and moisturizing kind of feeling, which is nice, but again, the wear time isn't very good on them. So that is Peach Please, and this one has a little less pigmentation than the other one. The other one that I got is Bellini Overflow right here, and this one is kind of a coral orange shade right here. So you can just see they almost look like balms. So that's kind of why I was wishing that I got some of the matte ones as well, to kind of compare them to this formula. So I think it's going to be an easy to wear type of formula, one that you can just kind of throw on, but it's not going to be super long wearing. So that one is the Bellini Overflow right there. And again, those are the new Wet n Wild High Shine Brilliance lipsticks. Also from the drugstore, I saw these new Revlon Color State Micro Hyper Precise Gel Eyeliners with smudger, and I'm always on the hunt for a really long lasting eyeliner for the waterline. So I typically try a shade from new launches that say, you know, super long wearing and stuff like that. And this is the one with a super fine, it says 1.5 millimeter micro tip, and I got it in black. And I tried to wear this. It says waterproof, smooth, precise application. I did break off the tip once on it, just trying to put it on the waterline. So it's not quite as smooth as it's saying on the packaging. But the thing was, this wore off so fast. Like, this had like no longevity at all on my waterline. I was really kind of astounded because it says waterproof on there. And I don't use a pencil liner on my upper lash line. I use a liquid. So I'd probably give this to my mom because she likes to use a pencil on the upper lash line, and this has got a really fine tip, so maybe she'll get some use out of it. But you can see just how tiny it is right there. I think it broke again. Shoot. I'm trying to show you guys here, but this is the black shade in any event. Not the liner from the drugstore to stay on the waterline all day. I'm still on the hunt. But that's from Revlon. It's the Color State Micro Hyper Precision Gel Pencil. And that's in black right there. And then I did place another order on the Victoria Beckham website for a couple more of her products. Each order, I've ordered twice from the website, and they've all come in this little cloth bag like this, which is kind of a nice touch. And then her packaging is all pretty like eco-friendly and recyclable and stuff like that. This is the packaging for the lip liner. So I got the other lip liner shade in 02 that I was wanting, and that's actually the lip liner that I have on my lips today, and I'll go ahead and swatch it next to the 01 shade for comparison for you guys. Here is the one in 02 right here. It is a warm brown shade, and then the packaging, there's like a little rubber piece inside the lid to kind of help the pencil from not drying out, and it's also in a wood sharpening mechanism. These do come with a little sharpener as well, so kind of to help the pencil from drying out. But this is the shade 01, which is lighter. Just want to compare the two shades. This is the one that I got first, and it's a little bit more peachy and lighter than the 02. So there's 02 and there is 01, and again, these are the lip definer crayons from Victoria Beckham. And the only place that I've been able to find these available for purchase is on the Victoria Beckham Beauty website. And then I got two more of her smoky eye bricks. I am wearing the one in Signature on my eyes today with the two, what are these? The lid lusters in Mink and Blonde that I hauled in a video or two ago. These are so, so pretty. And I was very tempted to get the blue and the black when I ordered these, but I just don't feel like I'm going to get the same amount of use out of them. Like, I've been wearing these two guys nonstop. This blonde one I have on the inner portion of the lid, and this one on the outer portion, and the sparkle that they give is just so stunning. So I've got those two products on with this right here, which is the one in Signature, the Smoky Eye Brick in Signature. And these three shades are all matte, and then this is a matte base with a little bit of sparkle in there. It's the most bizarre thing. Like, these just don't look like a whole lot of excitement when you look at them like in the pan like that, but every time that I use these, I just love my eye look. Like, I love the way it turned out today. I've worn the other one that I'm going to show you a couple times as well, and I don't know what it is, but they just blend together so well and look so pretty on the eyes. Like, it's almost like an effortless type of eye look, and then paired with those lid lusters, oh, I've just really been enjoying them. And this is the packaging. It's got a VB on the mirror in the corner, and then the tortoise shell with gold. And then here are the shades. So let me swatch these for you guys. And I really like to mix between the shades as well. And these just blend out so nice. Like, when I got the first one and used it, I was just so pleasantly surprised with how much I loved the eye look and how easy it was to use. And I just really, really like these. It kind of like hit me out of nowhere how much I enjoy these. And I am tempted, I am still tempted to get the blue one and the other lid lusters, but I'm trying to be practical. Like, you know you're not going to wear those ones as much, but I still want them. So anyway, that is the one in Smoky Eye Brick in Signature right there. And then the other one I got is in Tweed, which is this guy right here. When I used this, I actually pulled this lighter kind of shade from the Signature palette for underneath the brow, which I do have that shade underneath the brow right now as well. And the shadows, again, they just work so nicely together, and they just don't look like a whole lot in the pan. It's just the most bizarre thing. So let's swatch these guys. And they just blend like a dream, and they work together so pretty. Oh. Again, that is Tweed right there. Even like when I swatch them, they don't look like a whole lot of excitement, but they're very exciting on the eyes. So there's Tweed and there's Signature, and let me show you all three together. So you've got Tweed on top, Signature in the middle, and Tuxedo on the bottom, right there. The packaging is so sleek and weighty, it just really feels luxurious, but like, how easy would this be to just travel the world with? And then next up, I purchased these products quite a while ago now, but I haven't swatched them or hauled them for you guys yet, and I definitely want to swatch them before I forget about them. These are the Melt Cosmetics Vida and Muerte palettes. So the outside packaging have the sugar skull on them, like that, and then the actual packaging mimics that, and then they're actually like magnetized on the side. It's not a super strong magnet like where they'll hold, but they do have like a magnetic component to them. So the Vita palette has got 0.574 ounces of product, and the Muerte palette has 0.625 ounces of product. So that's interesting. I guess there's more product in the Muerte palette than there is in the Vita palette. Let me go ahead and swatch the Vita palette for you guys first. This one has got some super fun bright colors in here. There are 2 shimmer shades in here, and the rest are all mattes. You've got Serape and Allegria that are the shimmers. I kind of found that my favorite way to use these palettes is using them together. Like, I like to mix shades from the Muerte palette with the Vita palette. That's kind of how I've been wearing them. The mattes are very, very, very pigmented, and the shimmers are a little bit thicker in terms of texture, but they're highly, highly pigmented. They're very, very pretty, but I feel like there's just a little tiny bit of a learning curve just because there is so much pigmentation to them. And again, these shimmers have a thicker type of a texture to them. We almost have like a cream factor to them, which can kind of be a little bit something to pick up on a brush and then try to find a happy medium between picking up too much. But I do really like both these palettes, and the packaging on them is just so pretty. This collection from Melt was just stunning. So there are the first 4. Like, it looks like I haven't even dipped into some of these shades, because you like just do not need a whole ton of product because the pigmentation is just wicked. Look at that yellow. And then these last 2 here. Wicked. So those are the swatches right there for the Vita palette. I'd like to swatch them together, but I don't have enough arm space, so beautiful. And again, this packaging, the colors, the brightness, so pretty. And then this next one here is the Muerte palette. Look at the colors in here. I left the plastic in here. This one has got 3 shimmers and 7 mattes. The shimmers are Angelito, Katrina, and Kalaka. And then you got these 4 are matte, and then these 3 are matte right here. I actually wore that green eyeliner when I used these shades and some of the shades from the Vita palette, and the look that come out of it was just so, so pretty to look at. Like, these palettes in general, they just like, I just like to look at them because they're so pretty. There are the first 4, and the next 4. There are a lot of like deeper matte shades in here, but they all have a different undertone. So there's like a burgundy, a browner, a greener, a bluer type of undertone to them. And then these last 2. That is a shimmer, that one's a shimmer, and then that one is a shimmer. Right there. I dig the color combinations. I just feel like they're so pretty, very unique. And I am happy to report that none of the shadows in either of these palettes have like puffed out. And then next up, I also purchased the new Pat McGrath Labs Mothership Sublime Golden Opulence palette, which kind of released like part of, I want to say like the Lunar New Year collection. It's in a red sparkly type of packaging. This one does have the little rubber band closure. I would have much preferred the packaging kind of like the Star Wars 6 pans that came out where you just open it kind of like a normal type of palette. But it does have that enclosure, and this one here doesn't open very far back. Like, that's as far as it goes, and if I were to force it, I would crack the binding on the palette. This has got 2 matte eyeshadows in it and then 4 shimmery shades. There aren't any of Pat McGrath's super special eyeshadows in here. This is more her standard eyeshadow formula. And it does come with one of those plastic sheets with the names on there. Again, I would just much prefer either print them inside the palette or on the back of the palette as opposed to having that plastic sheet. So I don't lose the names of them. I often just shove it in the binding of the mirror so that I don't have to worry about it like stabbing the eyeshadows every time I try to get it out. I don't know if any of you guys have done that before, but there's a total of 0.42 ounces of product, or 12 grams, which is 2 grams per eyeshadow, which is a pretty substantial amount of product that you're getting. I will say this came in a box with a ton of shredded like plastic worms. I've seen the like paper shredded worms before, but I'd never seen like plastic shredded worms like that, and I was just like, it's kind of cringeworthy. Let me give you some swatches of this. I love Pat McGrath eyeshadows. The quality of these is no different. However, these shades, they're nothing new really. There's a slight variation in terms of the color compared to other shades in her range, but they're all along the same lines, if that makes sense. So if you have a bunch of her palettes, you're going to have similar shades like this in your collection already. So the two mattes are this brown and this guy right here, which is kind of a transition and a deeper crease, and then these three and this guy down here are shimmers. There are micro glitters in the gold and the burgundy shade, so these two right here, and then these ones are more, this packaging, it's a little awkward to kind of hold, but these two shades are more kind of smoother metallics. So let's give you guys some swatches here. I'm still hoping that she comes out with Divine Rose for you guys, because that like sold out so fast and that palette is so beautiful. I'm like, you need to come out with it for everybody. And then these next three. And this one here I can get away with using it by itself, and the looks do come out pretty. I just use that shimmer lightly underneath the brow bone, and then the mattes in the crease, and then those shimmers on the lid. But those are the swatches right there. And again, that one is the Pat McGrath Golden Opulence palette right there. And then here's the packaging. And then I purchased all 8 of the new Fenty Beauty Snap Shadows Mix and Match eyeshadow palettes. There are 6 shades in each one that are 0.035 ounces a piece, which is a mid-range in terms of the amount of product that you're getting. I kind of snapped mine all together how I kind of would maybe like to use them. I definitely want to play around with them a little bit more. So you kind of have to press a little hard and get them to click. Like when I first tried to put them together, I'm like, these are not staying. This is like faulty, but I just wasn't pushing hard enough. So they come apart like that. And then the shade names and the color combos are on the back like that, which I wish there was a way to tell while they were snapped together what kind of shades were inside, but they do have individual numbers. So I've got like 1 and 7 snapped together. And these are the 2 palettes that I was actually wearing. It was my last haul video from last Saturday, which you guys really liked my eyeshadow look in there. It was like a greenish type of earthy toned shadow look, but these are the ones that I was wearing in that video. So anyway, you just put them together kind of back to back like that, and then you have to snap them and hear them click to make sure that they're together. So this first one is a really neutral one. It's got 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. I've used 6 out of the 8 so far, but I wanted to give you guys swatches of them so you can kind of see whether or not it'd be something that you would like. I get along with the Fenty formula really well. I've heard really mixed reviews on her shadow formula. I get along with them. I do use a tacky primer that I don't set. That always helps, but I have a drier eyelid. With that being said, there's nothing really revolutionary about the colors in here. There's nothing super unique. You've got shimmers and you've got mattes. They're all shades that we've kind of seen before. So I think where these will really come in handy is for like travel or kind of convenience type factors. I happen to think they're just kind of fun. The lids are not magnetized. You shut them and then they also kind of snap shut like that. So anyway, this is the one in number 1 right here. Again, 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. You've got a matte, a matte, a matte, shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. So let's swatch these for you guys. There are the first 3 in that one. And then the bottom 3. And each time I've worn a combination of 2 palettes, each time that I've used them, And I've really liked the look that come out of them, and they weren't super hard to work with for me or anything like that. They're just very standard type of colors, if that makes any sense. But there's the first one in number 1, and then the other side that I have on this one is the number 7, which this is like, I think this is probably my favorite one because I really like shades like this on my green eyes. This one has 4 mattes and 2 shimmers, so you've got a shimmer and a shimmer, and the white shade in here I did have to kind of grind my brush in there to get that product to pick up. So it's a little, it almost feels, it's a thicker type of a formula. Again, you can kind of feel some silicones in there. I love this green shade. Yeah, this is like my favorite one out of the bunch, just because I really like the color combination. And then these last two. Right there. So there is number 1, and there is number 7 right there. Next up, I've got the number 6 palette paired with the number 8 palette. So I'm going to swatch the number 6 right here. This one has got 3 shimmers. There's a black, kind of a blackened shimmer down in the corner that has some decent size kind of micro glitters to it. It's almost like a metallic kind of mixed with really fine micro glitters, if that makes any sense. Hopefully you can see in the swatches. And then there are 3 mattes. So I actually think the way that the glitters are suspended in this formula is kind of nice. There's another shade in the palette I'm going to show you that has that same type of a formulation to it, but it holds the glitters pretty decent. And then these two. Right here. So that one is the number 6 palette right there. And then here is the number 8 palette that I paired it with. And this is an all shimmer palette with kind of more pastel-y type shades. I just thought that they might go with all these dark ones a little kind of nice. So kind of a real springy palette, this one. Pastel-y type of shimmer shades. Right there. And then the purple and the blue. It's like an icy sky blue. Right there. So there is the number, what did I say, 6? Yeah. 6 palette and 8 palette right there. Next up, I've got the number 2 palette paired with the number 4 palette. So this one is number 2 right here. And this one has got 4 shimmers and 2 mattes. The mattes are these guys right here. So watch them. So they're the first 4. And then these next 2. And again, that is the number 2 palette right there. And I paired that with the number 4 palette. And this is the other palette, has one of those glittery type of shades to it. It's kind of suspended in another type of formula. These are kind of nice for, I don't want to call them pressed glitters because they're not like full shot through glitters, but there's a ton of micro glitter kind of in a shadow base, if that makes sense. And this one has got 3 mattes. You've got these 2 and this one. And then these are standard kind of shimmers, and there's that shade that's kind of full of a bunch of glitter. So there are the first 4 swatches, and then the next 2. So that again is the number 4 palette. Number 4 palette and number 2 palette right here. So right there. And then lastly, I've got the number 3 palette paired with the number 5 palette. And these are the two that I actually have not used yet, but I thought they would look the prettiest together. So the number 3 palette has got 4 mattes and 2 shimmers. These 2 are shimmer, and then these 4 are the mattes right here. A lot of these, if I wanted a matte brow bone, there's actually only one palette for my liking that has a matte brow bone highlight in it. So I can see myself grabbing Wet n Wild Brulee for a lot of these if I want that matte brow bone. But did I tell you what number this one is? This is the number 3 palette. And then these 2. Both matte eyeshadows there. So that one is the number 3 palette. And it's paired with the number 5 palette right here, which is a lighter, warmer palette. The bottom 3 are matte, the top 3 are shimmer shadows. But these ones are the shimmers. These ones are the mattes. I think that these 2 palettes pair really well together. I actually think the way that I have them, the palettes like that, I think that the 2s that I have are paired nicely the way that they are. But there's the first 4 and these next 2. Right there. So that one is the number 5 palette, and that one is the number 3 palette right there. See, I think those together look super pretty. And again, those are the new Fenty Snap Shadows. So that is all for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.